The year is 1902, and the streets of New York City's Lower East Side are alive with sounds of horse-drawn carts, children laughing in Yiddish, and the aroma of fresh bread filling the air. Here, among crowded tenements and narrow cobblestone alleys, thousands of Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe built a new life, one meal at a time. Let's walk through those streets together and taste the 25 foods they actually ate, the flavors that carried their memories, their traditions, and their hope. 1. Black bread. The foundation of every table, dark, dense rye bread. It wasn't fancy, but it was sacred. Every slice reminded them of home, of survival. 2. Herring. Salted or pickled, it was poor man's protein. They'd buy it from barrels on Orchard Street, wrapped in newspaper, dripping with brine. 3. Borscht. A beet soup, bright red like the sunsets they missed back in Ukraine. Hot in winter, cold in summer, always shared with love. 4. Potato knishes. Golden pockets filled with mashed potatoes and onions, sold by street vendors shouting, "Hot knish! Get your knish!" 5. Cholent. The Sabbath stew, beans, barley, meat, left to cook slowly overnight. A symbol of rest, faith, and patience. 6. Schmaltz. Rendered chicken fat. They used it like butter, rich, flavorful, and made from nothing wasted. 7. Bagels. Boiled, then baked chewy rings of dough sold for a penny each. No fancy toppings, just simplicity and survival. 8. Pickles. Whole barrels lined Delancey Street, sour, salty, crunchy. A bite that woke you up from the inside out. 9. Kugel. Sweet or savory noodle pudding. A dish that tasted like childhood stories and grandmother's kitchen. 10. Gefilte fish. Ground fish balls served cold, strange to outsiders. But to immigrants, it meant tradition and home. 11. Matzo ball soup. Comfort in a bowl. When the world outside was harsh, this broth healed hearts and bellies. 12. Cabbage rolls halishks. Stuffed with rice and meat, simmered in tomato sauce. Every bite was a whisper of the old world. 13. Latkes. Crispy potato pancakes fried in oil, a reminder that miracles can happen, even in a tiny kitchen. 14. Pirozhki. Small baked buns filled with cabbage or meat. They smelled like warmth in cold New York winters. 15. Rugelach. Buttery crescent cookies with jam or nuts. The immigrant's dessert of joy on payday. 16. Tzims. Sweet carrots, honey, and prunes. A dish that said, life can still be sweet. 17. Grybeans. Crispy chicken skin bits fried in schmaltz. Poor people's bacon, full of flavor and pride. 18. Kreplech. Little dumplings filled with meat or potatoes, floating in soup like tiny parcels of love. 19. Challah. Golden braided bread, sacred for Sabbath. Shared among family, it meant togetherness. 20. Sour cream and potatoes. Simple, cheap, and filling, the everyday comfort food of the working poor. 21. Liver spread. Made from chopped liver and onions. A delicacy born out of thrift and creativity. 22. Dill soup. A taste of the old shtetl, tangy, light, and refreshing. 23. Rye whiskey. For some, a sip after a long shift at the factory was the only luxury they knew. 24. Cabbage soup. Cabbage, water, salt, and faith. That's all they needed to fill an empty stomach and keep hope alive. 25. Strudel. Sweet, flaky pastry filled with apples. A taste of celebration after years of struggle. These weren't just foods. They were memories, survival, and identity served on a plate. Every dish told a story. Of poverty and resilience, of laughter and prayer. Of people who came with nothing, but left behind a taste that would define New York forever. Now open your eyes. Can you still smell the pickles? Can you feel the warmth of fresh challah? That's not just food. That's history, still alive in every bite. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe for more forgotten stories of old America. And tell us, which of these dishes would you try first?